Mani sauc Aurēlija Ruajē-Gunēna un kopš 2020 gadu esmu Francijas vēstniece Latvijā. Esmu diplomāte jau 30 gadus. Savas karjeras laikā esmu specializējusies sabiedriskā komunikācijā un Eiropas jautājumos. Esmu priecējusies, un man ir 2 pieauguši dēli. Well, I think it's very striking to see how deeply rooted in European humanism those cultures are. You have very different ways of expressing this basis of humanism and common values. France is a country of philosophers, of painters. Latvia has been expressing it through music, through poetry, but you feel there is a very strong common basis, and there have always been a lot of exchanges and influences between the two. I was recently in a museum in Sadus, Janis Rosenthal's museum, and I was really very struck and touched that his wedding invitation is written in French.
Wow!
His wife was from Finland, he's Latvian, but his wedding invitation was written in French, and you can see that there has always been some very strong cross-influence and communication. If you go in Riga to the Roman Suta and Alexandra Beltsova Museum, they have kept the library that they had, and you have a lot of French magazines on art that were there. It's very interesting to see that many of Rodolphe Pénis, where you have 2 of his paintings just behind you. Yeah. Rodolphe Pénis spent a lot of time in Paris, and a lot of his work also was about Paris.
Wow.
So I think the 2 cultures really are not close, because each country has its own national genius and its own style and sensibility, but you can see that there were always some exchanges regardless of all the difficulties of history, and there was always a very strong link between artists. Legua, it's interesting because there is something quite equivalent in France, but it's no longer very observed. I mean, people have forgotten this tradition of the solstice with the same type of symbol, the fire, the dancing. Oh yes, I think it's the case in most of Europe actually, that the summer solstice is marked by this all-night dancing and fire. And in France it's the Saint Jean, the night of Saint John. It's very nice, the way it's celebrated here is very touching, and I love all the tradition, the special food, the special dance. It's really nice how it brings everybody together of any generation. It's really very strong and very touching to see. The language has been kept really as a treasure, because it means so much, that the dainas and everything was really a national treasure, because it's at a time when Latvians couldn't build their own buildings or express themselves through art or through any other type of national genius, they had the language, and that's why it's nice to see it. As you were mentioning, it's a complicated language, but it's for a good reason. It's because it has been kept without being simplified, or it's really the heritage of Latvia.
Yeah.